Optic Texas has had a very interesting season thus far. Much like all 12 franchise teams, they've been to every single major. The biggest outlier, though, for Optic Texas are all the roster changes that they have done along the way. There's a lot to discuss when it comes down to Optic Texas and what the foresight might be for the Green Wall ahead of champs. This is the state of the Green Wall Optic Texas. Throughout all of the season so far, Optic have now reached a peak of 5 roster changes, and this comes as a shock given that they just won the major championship just last season. It's not unheard of that a championship roster does change 1 or maybe 2 players after winning the championship roster, such as the New York Subliners after winning their world championship. They dropped Priesta in place for Sib. But this time, for an undisclosed reason, going in towards Major 1, Optic had started to drop Pred for Hook, and they were the number 1 seed going in towards that tournament. They ended up bouncing out top 8. Going in towards Major 2, they brought back in Pred for Hook, and now you have the championship roster back in full force. But the one thing is that they only won a single qualifier. They started in the lower bracket going in towards Major 2, which Optic were hosting. They ended up dropping Kenny for Skies, which they ended up getting top 8 at the end of it. So going in towards Major 3, they dropped Pred for Hook again. Hook is now there playing alongside Skies instead of Kenny. This is the roster that they play throughout the qualifier stage with. They end up getting 7th seed, and then they bounce out top 8 again in Major 3. So what do you do if you're the Green Wall? Do you go in towards Major 4 qualifiers as the number 8 seed, being under threat maybe from Cloud9 New York or Minnesota Rocker that you might actually not make the World Championship? So you go in towards that Week 1 qualifier with Skies in towards the mix, and you beat Vancouver Surge. Not just beat them, you beat the brakes off of them 3-0, and now you know that you could solidify champs if you just do well this qualifier stage. But strike the iron while it's hot, why don't you? Mercules is now picked up by Optic Texas. It's only the second time that the Green Wall has actually dipped its toes in towards the Challengers pit. Shout out Ghosty back in the MW2 season, worked out for them then. Might as well pick up Mercules, especially how well he played, assisting the Toronto Ultra in a top 3 finish at the most recent major. People took to Mercules very quickly, very seriously. Through a lot of different scenarios before he was 18 years old, he was playing with a lot of different notable players, making a name for himself in the under-18 community. If you're unaware, to compete in Challengers, the amateur circuit for Call of Duty League, you do have to be 18 years old, which just about this time last year, Mercules was turning 18 years old to compete in Challengers 2Ks as well as the LCQ, which he did get 3rd in, almost qualified for champs, playing alongside Dak, Neptune, and Lunars. So then going in towards the Black Ops 6 season, you are a full-fledged amateur player. He was backed by the FC Stallions, that was Zuma's team in the under-18 squad, but now with a name underneath his belt, Mercules was looking to make a name for himself and maybe make a run in towards the league. So in towards Elite Season 1, he was playing with that same FC Stallions roster where he did get 4th in playoffs. He got top 10, bounced out of playoffs in Elite Season 2, and then played for Omid Brooklyn alongside Dylan Rex in that Elite Season 3, where he did end up winning the whole enchilada, and where his name was mostly named and why he got picked up for the Toronto Ultra. He's been Mr. Consistent throughout the entirety of the year. He had a 1.10 KD in the Elite Stage 3, and then also dropped a 1.10 KD in the Major for the Toronto Ultra, playing against much better talent. My biggest concern for Mercules going in towards all of this is actually going to be the communication. Their coach, JP Caress, has actually come out on stream and has said a handful of times that the communication has been lackluster for the Green Wall and would actually hinder them in making a very deep championship run. But starting off 1-0 versus the Vancouver Surge is a much better look for them. And I think that Mercules fits the bill and would actually fit alongside Dashy, just sitting inside the hill, getting time, getting a couple kills here and there, and just letting the SMGs run around like a chicken with their head cut off. It's a lot of bright promises of what I got to see versus the Vancouver Surge. It's just about piecing it all together, but making sure that they can at least contest for the championship when it comes down to Kitchener at the end of the season there in Ontario. Optic, as it currently stands, are 8th overall in the seeding, and the only way that they will lose out on champs or that seeding is if they get outplaced by Minnesota Rocker or Cloud9 New York. But they play Boston Breach, Carolina Royal Ravens, Los Angeles Gorilla Mates, and then finish this qualifier with the Toronto Ultra. I am very hopeful that they will end up winning out at least more than 3 of them, I would say, and probably starting in the winner's bracket, maybe making a better run and then solidifying themselves probably the 7th, if not maybe the 6th seed, barring what else happens during this stage of the qualifiers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure that you tune in to the Global Gaming Network channel as we continue to follow all of these games for the Call of Duty League and Mercules' progress, as well as the Green Walls come champs time. This has been the State of Optic Texas.